Hey guys, what's up? This is Punk Unity. I'm Ducky, and I'm with my Oh, man, wow. I'm tired. Tired. That's what it is. I'm honored by my guest, Chris of Mutiny. Chris, please smack me in the head with a hammer or something.
Ding, there we go. Yeah.
So what's been going on, man?
Um, it's been a good summer. We Mutiny flew out to the ones that weren't in LA already. We're down in Orange County. We recorded our first like actual full length. We wrapped that maybe a month ago. I played some festivals with some bands. I played first show with the new band Stuck Lucky, which has like been my favorite band for like almost 20 years, which is crazy to say. And I got to play keyboards for them. And yeah, mostly just like kind of, trying to get album stuff finished. We're doing a comic book with it. So we're trying to get that stuff wrapped up. But yeah, it's been a good
Nice.
summer.
That's what my bro Seafish said. He was talking about the comic book and he was like so excited. And I was just like yeah, I'm gonna have to get that too. That you don't see bands doing
No, and I'll tell you why. It's fucking expensive as hell. I had no idea how what I was getting into when we started like this process. Dude, so we're working with a studio in Tokyo called Side Ranch, and like they do manga. They did like the Ultraman manga, like they do like legit stuff. And I got that first invoice, dude. It was like, ooh, like a gut punch.
Yeah, I can imagine so. I felt the same way when I was shopping around last week, looking at how much vinyls and CDs and cassettes were, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I
Yeah,
was
it's
like, "No
stupid.
wonder record labels are like flopping left and right with the prices."
Oh yeah. I mean the price for the consumer is way up. The price obviously for the production is way up. The tariffs did not help that at all. Most of that stuff is pressed overseas. I think pretty much all the records I've ever been on have been like pressed in the Czech Republic. So like, you know, not a lot of stuff is happening. I mean, there's a couple plants around here, but it's just expensive.
Yeah, it's ridiculously expensive. Thanks a lot, Captain Chester Cheeto,
Yeah.
ruining our
Right.
country one day at a time. And for those of you at home, if you hear weird noises, that's because I record in my laundry room because I'm not at my house yet. So if you don't like it, there you go. Good old punk rock spirit for you.
Hell yeah. DIY, baby.
Uh, oh, hell yeah, dude. If I run a record label, if I ever do that crap again, it's going to be completely DIY.
Yeah.
Not taking the high road like I did last time.
Hell no. Yeah, too expensive.
No, too expensive, too many headaches. So it sucked. Well, Chris, tell me a little bit about you and how you got into ska and punk music.
So I have been listening to ska music like the my entire life, essentially. Like as soon as I got interested in music, where was like when the third wave was happening in the United States. So I grew up on like Save Ferris and No Doubt and Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake and all that, and went to shows, middle school and high school, and um got more interested in like the heavier like punk rock side, and then eventually into hardcore and metal as I got older, and was playing guitar and realized that there's a lot more fun stuff to play for metal than there is for like punk rock and ska and stuff. So yeah, I mean I was a born and bred ska kid, from early on.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Uh, as
First
far
show I
as
ever went to was Say Ferris, actually.
I have only heard like two of their songs.
Oh, for real? Yeah, that was like huge for me, man. Like that was my entire personality growing
I
up.
I had a guy that I went to high school with. He was really big into ska, but he was into like OC Supertones. I think that's right. Five Iron Frenzy.
Oh, the Christian ska bands.
He was into Christian ska
Yeah.
bands.
So like
So it kind of
I grew up Mormon, and my mom was always trying to get me to go to church and stuff, and so she like the olive branch that she extended to me was there was like a Christian bookstore that had like bands like the Insiders, OC Supertones, Five Iron Frenzy, and she got me these CDs thinking that's like gonna convert me, and it didn't work out, but they make some great music.
I mean, they make great music. I'm like, instead of partying and all that, you guys are talking about we're going to go pray together or something.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know.
it wasn't like I said, it wasn't for me, but there was definitely had some great tunes there. So,
I will definitely say the first ska band I ever got into was Real Big Fish.
oh yeah,
I saw their music video for Sellout on MTV. That tells you
hell
how
yeah.
old I am. So, but I just got hooked, man. Something about the upbeat of it all, the horns, the energy.
Mhm.
It was just like if you had a bad day, put on a ska album, and it's gone. It's
real
just
big
gone.
real big fish in particular, like it seemed like a lot of their lyrics were like, fairly dark and like
Mm.
so that like with the in contrast with the music being so lighthearted, I think as I was coming up there, being a hormonal teenager and whatnot, that was pretty clutch for a little guy like me.
Little guy, come on, man, you can't be that little of a guy.
I mean, back then I was, yeah. I was, like I said, I think the Boston CD, let's face it, I think that came out when I was in like the fourth grade.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So
I maybe you might be close to my age. I'm 42, so
yeah, I'm 37 or 38. I don't exactly
okay,
remember.
okay. You're getting close to that age where just stuff starts falling apart. Like you
Dude,
get out.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
My day job is a mailman. So like there's not been a day in years that like I've woken up and my hips haven't hurt, my knees haven't hurt, my back hasn't hurt. Like it's everything's falling apart.
it just gets better. It
Yeah,
just gets
here.
better.
I mean my heart's healthy. I'm walking 15 miles a day. My heart's healthy, but everything else not so much.
I miss the days of skateboarding, and my daughter got a skateboard, and I was like, man, that looks tempting. And then my wife looks at me and says, don't even think about it. She's like, you've got metal plates in your neck. You just take one wrong slip,
Yeah.
boom. I was like, it'd be a fun wrong slip, I bet.
Yeah, yeah. The first time I got addicted to painkillers was because I broke my clavicle skateboarding, and I mean I've skated since then, but like I don't try to do anything cool anymore. I'm just getting from point A to point B to longboards.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. For
Mhm.
me right now, it's just chilling out mostly. That's all I'm doing lately. It's just chilling out.
Yeah, can't beat
So on a vacation right now so
nice.
I'm enjoying it. I'm
Heck yeah,
enjoying it.
right on.
But so let's talk about the beauties of being a musician. We mentioned that before we started.
Yeah.
Please tell all the wonderful people out there that'll watch this what it's like being a musician, how much money we really make.
Um, there's a there's a thing my mom always liked to tell me. It's like being a musician is, you know, 10, 15 years of experience, $10,000 worth of gear to pack into $1,000 van to drive 5 mile or 5 hours to play 30 minutes to make $50. So like if you're in it for the money, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah,
I've put out a number of records. I've done a number of tours. I'm fortunate enough that like I break even. I've never really made money on this, man. It's not never gonna happen.
I hadn't either. The time we went on tour, I think I left with like maybe I want to say maybe 5 grand, 2 or 5 grand. I can't remember because this was back in my 20s. I do remember coming back home and being like negative 2,000 in the bank account. I
Yep,
was like,
sound about right.
wow. I was like, this is amazing. Not
Yeah.
really. I
Yeah,
was
I mean
like,
it's fun. It's fun. It's one of those things that if you're not doing it for the love of it, you're not doing it at all. And I will say like at this point, like I'm fortunate enough that I am breaking even and like, but at the same time, man, it's like, it's one of those things that's just never been about the money. It can't
yeah,
be. It's not
yeah.
not in my position at least.
I don't think honestly in anybody's position it should be about the money. It should always be about the music and the fans. Because
Yeah,
that's
yeah, for
that's what
sure.
keeps it going. It's our job to entertain people, have a good time,
Mhm.
and keep it going so they can have all these fond memories. just
Right.
like we can have the fond memories of, oh, I pulled my back out on stage, or oh, my
Mhm.
guitar string, or oh, I played the wrong note, but nobody cared. So,
No,
all right,
yeah,
we're
yeah, everybody's
good.
having a good time. Exactly. Yeah, right on. Yeah.
So
But
it's pretty crazy. It's crazy though, man. Be honest with you.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like I've had some of the most amazing experiences in my life, like with Mutiny this time around. Like the last tour that we did, we went to Korea. I would never be able to go to Korea otherwise. You know what I mean? It's not my lifestyle. It's not within my budget, but we were able to swing that, and so it's definitely given me a lot of opportunities, and I've met a lot of my best friends through it, and have stayed in contact with like a lot of those people in Korea. Like I hang out and talk on Instagram, or figure out like, okay, let's figure out how to do some remote recording and hang out that way. Just stay in contact. But yeah, I mean, you meet all sorts of people. So
That's the best part for me. I
yeah,
enjoyed meeting people. It was
yeah.
great. Uh, that's what I really, and I love the, I like, if you see me without a camera on me or without being on stage or playing music, I'm a very quiet, very low key type person.
Mhm.
But on stage, it's like my personality dynamically shifts, and I'm wanting to do crazy stuff, like standing on top of the bar playing bass, or
Mhm.
just going crazy. But then, my kids, when they see me at home, they're like, "Where's the fun guy? Where'd he
Yeah,
go?"
yeah, that can't be bad, right?
I was
Yeah.
like, I got to keep that in reserve. You
For
never know.
sure. For sure. No, yeah, 100%, 100%.
So how did Mutiny start?
It was a COVID project actually. So we started because there weren't any shows happening. My band Dissidenti, like we were on hold for a minute just because we were recording, or we had finished recording an album but it had not yet been released. And then our saxophone player and trombone player and singer are from the Voodoo Glow Skulls, and they weren't able to tour and stuff. So same thing with our drummer who's in Death by Stereo and Adolescence, and these shows weren't happening. So like um, Eric, our saxophone player, hit me up and was like, "Yo, like he was trying to play sax on the Dissidenti record, and the rest of the guys in Dissidenti weren't really ska guys. Like we were a ska band, but they were like more into like the metal hardcore stuff. So I got like axed on allowing there to be tenor sax on it. So he said, "Well, let's just start something, you and me." So he's from Pittsburgh, despite the fact that the rest of the Blue Coast guys are all Southern California. So he's here with me, and we just started talking, and he gave me some tracks from his old band. Him and our guitarist JP had a band ages ago in when Eric still lived in Denver, and so they gave me these tracks and they said these are good songs, like, but they feel dated, like they were more like early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s kind of ska, and great songs. But he just said, can you modernize these, make them heavier? And I said, yeah, we'll be into that. And the lyrics, we were kind of trying to figure out what to write about. Eric is a big like Gundam guy. Like he collects all those like Gundam figures and models and everything. And I was at the time I mean I still love it, but like I was watching a lot of Ultraman, it's like this 70s, yeah, like kaiju
Yes.
Japanese. So I was like, let's just write about Ultraman, or just like watch. Give me an excuse to watch all these episodes of this old TV show. And at some point, it was like that is cool, but like we could write it about something that we're making. It could still be about giant robots and stuff. Um, but we could own the IP if we do it ourselves and write it and make a comic book. So I grew up, I really liked, like in my teenage years, a big fan of Coheed and Cambria, who had the same idea where like all of their albums are about this, the same story, and they had a comic book companion for it. So I said, we should do that, something like that, but rather than like American comics, we could do it with like a Japanese style comic. Um, and so Eric got Ephraim, who was from Voodoo Glow Skulls and Death by Stereo, on to sing, and Mike from Death by Stereo and Adolescence to play drums. We met up with Mike's high school, like his first band that he ever had was a ska band. And the bassist, Adam, is this total ripper who's like never really done much. He's just been like, playing by himself and stuff. So we said, yeah, get him on board too. So that was kind of like the how everybody fell in line there. Um, Eric and Jose, also from Voodoo Glow Skulls, played horns. And we recruited Esteban from Metamoskwa, and he was in Catfight for a while. He just plays, he's a session dude, he's rips. And we recorded his first 4 songs, and we kind of realized like it's too long for a 7 inch and it's too short for a 12 inch. So we Eric had this idea to do all of the songs, translate them into Japanese, and have them sung by the Japanese band called Frail. It also has 2 singers like us. So our friends Rio and Shinji sang and translated all the songs, and so we had the A side and B side, and we've continued that with all our releases. So our second release we did was a 7 inch. Um, and we had vocalists in Korean. So we did. There's a band, 18 Fevers. They brought us to Korea, and a band Turn for R that they did the vocals for it, and it was sick. So I think we're gonna try to keep that tradition of every release that we have doing in another language. So like the main ones will probably always be in Japanese because like Rio and Shinji are just part of the band. Like when we did that Supernova festival, we actually flew Rio out here to sing for us because Death by Stereo was on tour at the same time. So
Oh,
it was
okay.
pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty rad, like the way that worked out.
Yeah, that sounds pretty amazing, actually. You mentioned like a lot of heavy hitters in the ska scene, like especially Voodoo Glow Skulls.
Mhm.
I, dude, I own every single album they've ever put out, and
Oh, they're the
just
they're the best, man. Yeah,
they're uh,
like the reason I got into heavy ska music, or like, the first band that I really ever listened to that kind of, did ska but wasn't poppy, it was more on like the hardcore, like super, super fast. And that was Voodoo was like the first band I really listened to like that. And I'm glad that we got to have that connection.
yeah, dude, that's pretty amazing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I've listened to Mutiny, I love. Um,
Thank you.
it's awesome. It's definitely different from most of the ska. It's just got this different vibe and energy to it that I'm just like, it's refreshing.
Yeah,
So
I think some of it is too like it's more metal than punk rock, so like a lot, I mean, obviously there's punk in all of everything that I'll
yeah,
touch, that's what I grew up on, but a lot of like the guitar work is kind of more influenced by metal than it is punk rock. So and there's bands that have been doing that, but a lot of times it's more like a hardcore than straight like metal.
yeah, it's what do they call it? They call it Skacore a
Yeah,
lot of the time.
Skacore is like probably the easiest indicator of that.
Yeah, it's just sometimes the way I think when it comes to music and being in bands and all that. The genre, like trying to label a genre or a subgenre or that, I'm just like, I'll just usually say, you know what, we're a ska band. There we go. But you
Yeah, yeah,
guys
yeah,
have more metal or you have less metal in this album, more reggae. I was like, it doesn't matter. Just
yeah,
we're ska. There you
for sure.
go.
100%. Yeah, I
There's
feel I like getting in the weeds about that kind of stuff personally. Like I think it's really interesting to find out like what bands are pulling from what different genres or different tones. And there's a lot of like interesting things because you can listen to a band like Voodoo Glow Skulls or a band like Folly, like really like heavy hardcore, and then a band like Eichler's, which doing like electronic stuff and like some gabber influence or hyper pop influence, things like that. And like just to say it's like it all makes sense on the same bill. You know what I mean? It's still a ska band, it's still a ska show.
yeah, yeah. No, I totally agree because it's diverse.
Mm.
And and diversity is what brings people together. I mean, come on, we're punks. I mean,
Right.
they're not one of us is alike. I
Sure,
mean, that's just
100%.
how it goes. I mean, Christ, dude, I rock Hawaiian t-shirts and
You're on
a beard.
vacation, baby. Yeah, you don't.
It's not exactly the vacation I wanted. It's the vacation I got.
Yeah, that's
So
fair. That's fair.
it's
Sometimes
just
what
one
you
of the.
need. Yeah.
Oh, man, it's different, but I am enjoying it. It's giving me more time to focus on the channel.
Mhm.
It's giving me more time to focus on my music and with my family as well. So it's rewarding. It's very rewarding.
Hell yeah.
So I get to
That's
wake
what's
up
up.
every day and be like, son of a. So when when you're going into making an album with music, is they're like, do you have a set stream of what you're wanting to sing about? Is a direct storyline?
Uh, yes. So
Okay,
it was definitely more difficult in the first couple releases that we did, like that 12-inch and the 7-inch, because we were still feeling the story out. Like we had an idea of the setting, we had an idea of like the early events of what was happening. But with this one, it was it despite there being more songs, it was actually kind of easier to write a narrative with it, because we had like the full book outline to write about. So the most difficult thing I think was trying to find a place to end it, because like you want the feel of a record to have a certain flow to it, and
right,
that doesn't necessarily coincide with how you want the story to go. So we had to do some picking and choosing as to what songs are in what order. And if I'm being honest, I think there's still a little bit of debate in our camp as to the track order of things. But yeah, so the story does have like uh, it follows the track of the record right now.
okay,
So it was a lot easier, and there are allusions to in the first two records, like things that are kind of recapped in those, because we had like a zine that we did with the most recent one that kind of like has like uh tells some of the story of like going down to Earth from where the characters are. So without getting too in the weeds about it, yeah, like it was easier for me to write lyrics this time than it was to try to pick out of this huge things to write about.
right. I mean, that's cool. I give it to you because not many bands do that. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, some do to a degree, but some don't take it as far as like you guys do, or you mentioned Coheed and Cambria. Those guys took it to a whole nother level,
Right.
and I'm a big fan of their stuff too.
Oh, they're so
So,
good, dude. They're
oh yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah,
I used to call them like the modern day Rush, and
absolutely.
I would get hated for saying
Oh,
that. They're like, they're nothing like Rush.
audio even sounds like him, dude. He
I
sings
was
like
like, he sings like Getty.
yeah,
Their albums are all progressive. They're
super
just
prog.
faster. I mean, it's
Yeah,
prog,
yeah.
and I mean, it's a
And
concept.
I
I
think
mean,
I
all
think
their
that
albums are.
I think that their earlier stuff was probably less like Rush than their more modern stuff. I think, especially like in the Good Apollo era, like that was like just fucking Rush to a T, like really proggy, not so punky. The second Good Apollo, I think, was very Rush, and that's not a slight by any means. I
No,
love that.
no, no,
Yeah.
no. I tell everybody that you know, if you want to be my friend, you got to like Rush. And people like,
They're
they're
yeah,
like, what?
yeah,
I was like, you got to like Rush. My kids like Rush. My wife likes Rush. I was like, not many
yeah,
people. I mean, dude, if you don't like them, sorry, I don't have time for you.
yeah. Do you have a beating heart? Like, yeah, yeah.
Have
There's
you
just there's
ever?
some bands that are just undeniable. It doesn't like they just transcend. Like, even if you're just to listen to it as like if you're not a punk, if you're not into rock music, it still makes you feel something. You can still appreciate that musicianship and like how techy it is. And
Oh yeah, yeah. And I think to myself, I'm never going to play that techie in my life.
hell
Just not
no,
going to
bro.
happen.
Hell no.
just just not gonna happen. I
Yeah.
love it, but I look at my four strings on my bass and I'm like, I don't have enough hands. You don't have enough strings. It's not happening. So tell me off the top of your head, for anybody out there that wants to get into ska, what three albums would you recommend to get into?
Okay.
I know that's a tough one,
Yeah,
but
I think too, like some of it is going to be like my tastes definitely skew harder than when I was getting into ska music. So I wonder how much of it is still like accessible. I think off the top of my head, number one is going to be Destruction by Definition by the Suicide Machines. It's a master class. It's punk, it's fast, it has balls and it goes hard, but it's still dancey. I think that's probably the easiest and most accessible of what I still listen to. Um, I'm trying to think like soup. Okay, on the like the trad side of things, probably uh, I'm gonna say Transitions by Westbound Train. No, I take it back. I love that record, but I'm gonna say The Question by the Slackers.
good
More
one.
on like the trad stuff, so you can kind of get a feel for like the origins of ska and rock steady and like the Jamaican type sound, but with modern production or more modern production. And then uh, like I said, like a lot of what I listen to skews heavier. Um, I'm gonna say, okay, here's a kind of weird one. We were just talking about prog music. I'm gonna
Mhm.
say Progress by the RX Bandits. It has like a lot of like the same kind of progginess to it, but not as much as their later albums. Um, Another front to back banger record. Um, there would be 100,000 runner-ups for stuff I think that is like what I listen to more, but probably not as accessible. But yeah, there you go. Destruction by Definition, The Question, and Progress.
Those are all top picks. Those
Yeah,
are definitely all top picks.
yeah.
Uh, God,
Glad
as
you
far as
agree.
yeah, of course I'm going to approve. Well, no, I wouldn't say of course I'm going to approve. I have told people their music taste is crap before.
Hell yeah.
So,
Hell yeah. What about you? What,
like
what would you pick?
my top three, oh God, Real Big Fish. Turn the radio off.
Mhm. I would
I hope
I would have gone, Why Do They Rock So Hard? But that's just me.
that's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one. I'll definitely go with that. Um, man, God, now you put me in a spot. That's not fair, dude. I'm the one asking questions. Why do you have to put me in the spot?
That's fair. Yeah, man. I mean, or
Uh,
something what more like even like punk rock, like more than ska. Like what were the albums that got you into punk rock?
so what got me into punk rock? I want to say 15 or 16. Um, and I'm in Birmingham, Alabama. That's where I grew up.
Okay.
There was a local metal and hard rock show that would come on. The guy's name was Mark, so the show's called Mark After Dark. You know, I
Okay.
play the things your people or your parents don't want you to hear.
Right,
So,
right, right, right.
and that was also the time that like new metal was catching on. So you always heard your Corn, your Limp Bizkit,
Hell yeah.
um, Seven Dust, all that stuff, Slipknot, all that. But every now and then he would slip in just like something different out of left field. And for me, it was the Misfits' Last Caress that I
Okay.
heard.
All right, right, right.
And immediately I was working for my mom at a gas station and I was like, can we please go to the record store tomorrow so I can buy an album? And she was just like, yes. She's like, what kind of album? I was like, I don't know. It's by a band called the Misfits. And she was like, well, that doesn't sound like a bad band. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I went and I grabbed it, and it was their greatest hits compilation.
Okay.
And I loved it. I fell in love with everything they did. I mean,
Did she
Danzig,
hear that song? That song's about rape and murder. Like, yeah, there's no way, right? That would,
no, she never lit. I always, when it came to music, I would always put my headphones on,
okay.
uh,
There you
just because, no, can't. Mom
Yeah,
does not need to hear that.
there's no
So
way. There's no way.
there's no way she would let me got by with half the albums I owned.
Mhm.
No Effects. I got really big into No Effects, especially their album. Oh gosh, it was basically like their album dealing entirely with the George Bush situation.
War on
Uh,
Errors and yeah,
thank you.
phenomenal record. That's probably the record that like really. I think that's their best album, but
I like it a lot. I like most of their albums, but if I'm gonna pick a top one of their collection, I'm gonna go with that one,
Mhm.
just because it's got. To me, there's not a bad song on the entire album.
No,
I can listen to it
same.
from front to back. I will go with Rancid, Out Come the Wolves.
Best. Yeah, that's the reason that album's the reason I play bass.
See, there you go. See, we can play bass on an album, and everyone can tell that you're better than me. That's how it works.
I did at one point. I could play the Maxwell Murder solo. That was like right out of high school. I had like a pop punk band, but heavily influenced by Rancid because like having like the little ska influence to it too. We didn't have any horns, so it was that was the kind of stuff. But yeah, when I learned the Maxwell Murder solo, I couldn't play it today. Haven't picked up my bass in years, but at one point I could.
I'll
Not
pick
the
it up
Axiom
for you.
solo. The Axiom solo is way harder.
I'll pick it up for you, and I'll record it and send it to you, and you just be like, "I hate you." I mean, punk. Like I said, the Misfits were a gateway for me, and
Yeah.
then of
Oh, for
course
sure.
came the Ramones, Black Flag. I started getting into hardcore when I heard Black Flag for the first time. And oh, you still there? Uh-oh. Well, what in the world? Sorry, folks, we had a technical difficulty. We're back on now.
All right. Right. Yes, you say Black Flag.
Black Flag, um, Minor Threat, but and Bad Brains, and I actually saw HR's Soul Brains when they came to Birmingham. His
All
pure
right.
reggae band.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It has to be one of the best shows I've ever went to.
Hell yeah.
It was like a religious experience with him singing all these great reggae covers, and like all the band was dressed out in like white tuxes practically, and
That's sick.
it was an energy you could just feel. But what sucked is like it was me and maybe like 10 other people getting into it, and everyone else is sitting there like just doing their
Wait,
own
pay to
thing.
come. Yeah. Right.
I
Right.
mean, they're like, the guy was like, "This isn't Bad Brains." I was like, "Yeah, you're right. It's Soul Brains.
Band
It's
in DC.
yeah. They ain't gonna. They know they didn't
No.
get anything near that."
Yeah.
Uh,
I think I've never seen HR. I would have loved to have seen that show because I think I probably at this stage of my life probably would appreciate that music more than like the hardcore stuff.
yeah, I mean, honestly, some of the ska I'll listen to. Well, I guess you call it ska, like the Agrolites. They're more
I love that.
tradition.
Oh, dude. So can all right. So here's a hot thing. I don't think I'm allowed to say it yet, but
Then don't say it.
yeah. What's that?
Don't say it then.
I want to say it. I want to brag about it, dude. I'm stoked.
All right, go
So
ahead.
so on the new Mutiny record, um, Jesse, the singer from the Agrolites, is gonna do a verse.
Name of my next kid after this man.
Yeah, I'm
I
stoked, man. Like I'm a huge aggro.
dude. Oh my god, their version on their reggae stuff. Funny or not, I actually discovered them through watching Yo Gabba Gabba with one of my kids when they did the song
Banana.
Banana,
Yeah, dude, that's
and
it.
it. And I even noticed some of the slight like adult things they said in that song that just kind of slipped under the radar for most people.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
They're the best band. They're unbelievably tight. Roger Rivas is the I'll even say it. I think he's the best reggae organist ever, and I include Jackie Mitu in that. Which is controversial for sure. Everybody's like Jackie Mitu is the fucking best. I think Roger Rivas is. He's
I'm,
unbelievable. He's
I'm gonna go with
like,
Roger.
and he's the coolest dude. Like
Yeah,
he's like remember in the Peanuts when Snoopy is Joe Cool.
yeah.
That's Roger.
Oh yeah, dude. I
That's right.
think
He
he
just
just
ripped cool.
I think he just had a birthday recently, actually.
that
I want
right?
to say, I think he did. Yeah.
Right
I
on,
think I
man.
wished him a happy birthday. I'm not sure. Time is very weird for me because I'm still used to my overnight schedule because I work overnights for a medical facility.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to adjust, you go in on a Sunday and you work overnight. So you go in on a Sunday night, it's a Monday morning. Well, then you go in Monday afternoon and it just blurs all together. And you're kind of like, did I just get out of an episode of Twilight Zone or Quantum
Yeah.
Leap? Because I feel really freaking weird right now.
Are you still on that night turn?
Yeah.
Are you,
Well,
are you
yeah.
still working?
When I go back, I'll still be, yeah,
Hmm.
I'm married to that shift. I love it. No, man,
Oh,
it's great.
could not be me, man. I am asleep generally by like I'm in bed by 10. So being here 10:30, you're getting a different version of me than most people. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm not used to this, man. I wake up at like 5:30 every morning. And so yeah, I'm not a night owl. I couldn't do it.
At first I couldn't do it. It was really hard.
Mm.
But then the benefits of being on that shift, of course, you're going to get like a slight bump in your pay.
Yeah, the pay
But
differential and all that.
you're in a building that's normally over 200 people are in it, but there's only like 14 of you. It's quiet, and I get to listen to all the music I want to, all the podcasts I want to. Not to mention my supervisor is hilarious. He's from New York, so he's always got a crazy story about when he was a teenager in the 80s to tell me.
Oh, sick. Yeah, hell yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, being a teenager in New York in the 80s, I could not imagine.
dude, just hear every time he says, it's like the 80s, man. I'm like, Bluey. Okay, now I understand what Bluey's talking about. It was the 80s, man. Okay, I got you now.
That's tight. What are you listening to these days?
Well, Mutiny, of course, I'm
Okay.
listening to that
Boom.
album.
Right answer.
Yeah. Let's see, actually, I could probably tell you real quick. The Aggrolites I have been listening to a lot lately.
Absolutely.
They stay on heavy rotation. I have been catching up on a band called Faintest Idea.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, hell yeah.
yeah, Seafish introduced me to them. Actually,
Actually, we have so on the new Mutiny record, we have like 30 musicians on it, just because we wanted to like get all our homies in it. And we do have the saxophonist of Faintest Idea on it for a song.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, all right. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Try to see who else I've been listening to.
And the trombonist, actually, now I think of it.
What was that?
And the trombonist.
Hmm.
We're trying to get everybody on it.
Well, yeah, of course. You're like ska royalty, knowing all these people, man. You're like, I
I,
got this guy, I got that guy. What
this
do you
is
got? Nothing,
this is cashing in on decades of favors, is all it is.
bro. I can understand that. I can understand that. Against all authority, I listen to
Oh
their
yeah.
stuff pretty heavy.
Oh yeah.
Um, I'm still a really big Alkaline Trio fan, so I listen to a
Love
lot of their
Alkaline
stuff.
Trio. They just came out with a single today, I think.
I think so. Yeah, I hadn't
It has
heard
like
it
a
yet.
dinosaur on the front. I haven't listened to it yet. I just saw that it exists. I love
Uh,
Alkaline Trio, man.
oh yeah, dude. They were. When I started to get more into punk, it was NoFX. Then I heard Clavicle
Oh
and
yeah.
Armageddon by Alkaline Trio. Clavicle is kind of like, okay, that's kind of but then when I heard Armageddon, I was just like,
Yeah.
boom,
Oh yeah.
yes.
It's
So
funny because like I feel like they kind of got a pass because they're definitely a punk rock band, but like a lot more emo than like a lot of the punk stuff that, and they always got a pass. Like they were always like just a punk band. You know what I mean? Like all the punks still listen to them, despite at the time there being like well, it's not real punk or this too emo or whatever. Like they were one of those bands that always got that pass.
I think the reason why I think they get a pass is one, they're amazing musicians,
Mhm.
and two, their lyrics are very dark.
Oh,
They're
super dark.
they are not a sunshine, rainbow, and lollipops band.
No, no,
They
no.
no, they're all about darkness, the occult
Yeah.
stuff, especially on their earlier stuff. And I think that's what kind of bumped them up above other punk bands. And that turned
Yeah.
in,
And obviously the same thing, like they had a lot of the similarities with like lyrically to Misfits or AFI or
yeah.
stuff like that. So
I have been listening to old AFI. I won't go past Sing the Sorrow. I
that
think
that
that
was
was
the last one for me too, actually.
yeah. I heard like Miss December or whatever that song was, and then I was like, okay, no, it's not for me. And then I heard their last album, and I was like, this is not AFI. I was like, who is this?
Yeah, I haven't listened to them in a long time. I not to say that anything bad about it. Like I said, I haven't listened to it, but I will say I have been listening to Black Sails and I just picked up the All Hallows EP on vinyl not that long ago. And what's the one with is it Black Sails that has boy it starts off with the boy who fucking it's been so long.
The Boy Who Destroyed the World.
But yeah. Is that Black Sails or is that on
I think it's the one after Black Sails.
okay.
Um,
How's that record called?
I don't know because All Hallows Eve was kind of connected to it.
Yeah, to
It
Black
had the
Sabbath.
same, yeah, it had the
The
same
art aesthetic.
artwork, like the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
kind of gothic thing going on for it. But yeah,
What's the record called? That's gonna kill me. I gotta look that up real quick.
no, go ahead. But
Yeah.
yeah, the first song I ever heard by them was Total Immortal off that
Okay.
EP.
Yeah.
And immediately I had to go, I tried to find it at a record shop, nobody carried it. So I had to go to Hot Topic, and they're like, oh, we have all their stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll take it.
Hell yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
can't remember what that album is called, man.
Yeah, I it's bothering me because I feel like I've listened to it not that recent, not that long ago. Oh, there's a lot of albums I haven't heard by them. Oh
Oh,
damn.
yeah, yeah. They
Um, Art of Drowning. No, wait, hold up. That's not it. Yeah, Art of Drowning.
Out of Drowning, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you take that EP and you combine it with that, you've got one killer album.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I'm like, um, but that's been it mostly. Kind of actually been listening to a lot of podcasts lately.
Mhm.
So
I
a
can
lot
always
of
use recommendations because, like I said, I listen to. I'm a mailman. I'm listening to shit for 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours a day. So anything you.
um do you like horror?
I like horror books. Like. Did you read Nick Cutter, The Troop?
I actually have that book right now. I'm halfway
It
through it
is.
right now.
It is brutal, dude.
I am at the point where Elf is by himself and he's using his pocket knife. And I can't go into
Um,
much more detail of that because this video will probably never see the light of day. But
yeah, dude. It is.
needless to say,
If you anybody who's not read that book, even if you're not like a big reader, it's an easy read.
yeah,
But if you like body horror stuff, dude, like it is the most graphically intense book I think I've ever read.
Cronenberg would be proud.
Yeah, oh, totally, totally, totally,
If
totally.
if they made a movie of that, Cronenberg would have to direct it. Would
Yeah,
have to direct it.
it's disgusting.
Or John Carpenter. Either
Yeah,
one.
I can see that.
Anything John Carpenter could direct, like, I don't know, Steamboat Willie from Disney. And it'd probably be amazing knowing him compared to
Oh,
half the stuff that's out there these days.
but so
But
you listen to horror podcast or more like audiobooks?
I listen to more horror podcasts.
Okay.
Drew Blood's Drew Blood's True Tales, No Sleep podcast. Been listening to those guys for over 5 years. Creepy, but listened to those guys for like almost 10 years.
Is it all like fiction store? Like it's
Yeah,
fictionalized? Okay. 'Cause
it's all
I
fiction.
can't do the true horror stuff, like the true crime stuff.
No, I don't do that. No,
Yeah,
no, no,
it's
no,
not for
no, no.
me. It's not for me.
No, because when I hear stuff like that, they're like, and the wife knew it was a perfect. I'm like, no, no, I don't want, no,
Yeah,
no.
that real people, dude. Like real people got hurt for that. No, thank you. I don't want to hear about it. Like,
It was at this moment that the father realized he had to do it. I'm like, no, I didn't. No,
no.
no, I didn't. The hell I did.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so I don't really, there's too much darkness in the world already out there. I'll take my fictional horror stuff and I'll watch my horror movies, of course. But if it's more reality based, I'm like, no, I can't do that.
Did you see The Substance?
Not yet. Not yet.
Dude, it's so good. I will because I'm not like I don't really love watching horror movies. Like I like slasher, like 80s slasher stuff, but like the torture porn stuff that like came out, like that does nothing for me. Like the Saw, all that shit, fuck all that. But The Substance Man, it like speaking of Cronenberg, like real throwback stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
I
have
mean, it's
to
psychological and it makes you like think and feel, but like the third act is wild. Like it takes such a turn.
I'll have to check it out. Have you ever seen the movie The Void?
Nah,
Okay. Um, it is all practical effects in the movie, except for like
already
one
on.
scene. Do you like Lovecraft?
Yeah.
Anything like it is pure poetry to Lovecraft.
Okay.
You've got so much in. It's not a big movie. It wasn't on a huge budget, but what they spent on was the practical effects, the creatures,
Okay, cool.
everything. And it, dude, it's my wife watching. She's not big into horror movies at all.
Yeah.
Like she gets grossed out. I guess me working in the hospital for umpteen years doesn't gross me
It
out.
doesn't affect you.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
not so.
there's only certain things like I will never touch blueberry cobbler again, and I'll leave that story right there where it's at. Maybe I'll tell you off camera,
Oh,
but I'll never touch it again.
dang it.
But
It's my favorite treat too.
I'm sorry, dude. I won't tell you the story then. It'll
All
ruin
right.
it. But um, she watched and she was like, "This is great." I
Huh.
was like, "You liked it?" She was like, "I loved it." I was like,
Wow.
"Wow, that's a major milestone for you right there. If you like something that was that gross and just kind of extreme body horror, I knew I married you for a reason."
Right on. Yeah. Yeah, I like the creature feature stuff. I like, like anything with some, Alien, I think is like my favorite movie ever.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
which like is still horror, but is adventurous to, or like later on, I guess. But yeah, like those like in Jurassic Park is like my favorite movie ever. But like it's horror-ish, like in that same genre, but not exactly just like ugh.
yeah. That's how I felt. Predator will always be one of my favorite movies to watch. Oh, I
Hell
can
yeah.
watch it over and over again just because it's a horror movie, but it's not quite a horror movie because you don't really get to the aspects until later on the movie. And then the classic lines that Arnold Schwarzenegger
Oh,
delivers,
dude,
like
I'm
"Get
a
to the
goddamn sexual.
chopper."
What's that?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, movie's so good. Did you
uh,
see
uh,
Prey?
yes,
That movie was on.
yes.
I think that I mean the first Predator's perfect, but I think Prey's the best movie in that franchise.
Oh yeah, I will agree. Predator 2 is really great. I love Danny Glover in it
Mhm.
just because I
They
always
were like
kept
in the
thinking,
city or whatever, right?
yeah, they're in Los
Yeah.
Angeles during
Okay. Yeah.
like during the riots and all that.
Yeah.
And they had the Rastafarian gang that was trying to take over things. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, Predator's got that. Yeah, he'll win it all.
Yeah. It's been a long. I've probably only seen that one maybe once or twice. Like
It's
it's
a
been a
classic, man.
long time.
Bill Paxton's in it. Um, God, I can't remember everybody that's in it, but
Was there just two, and then they did all those crossovers with Alien?
unfortunately, they did.
Those were trash, hot fucking garbage. Those movies are terrible.
That's why I was excited to see Prey. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
awesome.
Are
And
they
then,
doing more like that?
well, they just put out not too long ago, Prey. I think it's called Killer of Killers. It's animated,
Oh, okay.
uh, but it's like four or five stories rolled into it. They all connect towards the end. You see, and for an animated movie, I was kind of like, this is actually really good. The story's cohesive, and you get to learn more about the Predator's culture. So it was
Okay, yeah.
interesting to me. So I dug
Yeah.
it. But well, Chris, I'm going to talk your ear off, man. We're going to be up to oh my god 30 at night.
Hey, I love
uh,
movies, man. I love that kind of stuff.
I did too. Uh, I'll hang out with you just for a few more minutes after we're done recording. Is there anything you'd like to say to the audience?
Just to look for the new Mutiny record. It's gonna be a while, we're still getting mixes and stuff. And we have to get the Japanese translations. And then we got the record, or I'm sorry, the manga will be coming out hopefully around the same time. We'll see. We'll keep you all posted. But if you want to check out our stuff, it's on Spotify, all that. You can get the physical records from Scott Punk International, and so both the 12-inch and the 7-inch. And then yeah, you can follow us on socials. The band Mutiny is like all of our stuff.
I'll have all that linked. link down in the descriptions and all that so they can get a hold of your stuff.
Right
So
on.
won't be a problem. They better buy it or else.
Yeah, yeah, right on.
All right. Well, guys, once again, this is Ducky with Punk Unity and my amazing host, Chris from Mutiny, and God knows how many other bands he's been and helped out.
Thank you so
Y'all
much
have,
for having me.
no, dude, thank you
A lot
so
of
much
fun.
for being. You guys have a good one.